fact, the cannabis industry is here to stay in New Jersey. What does this mean for you? Well, if you're looking to invest or open a business in the cannabis industry but don't know where to turn to, well, have no fear. With over 12 years of experience in the cannabis sector and one of the original New Jersey cannabis pioneers, I, Dr. David Kunick at UCS Advisors, can help you navigate the cannabis industry and guide you through the investment process. To learn more, head to ucsadvisor.com, where we can help you achieve your greatness.
Murphy, Schiller & Wilkes is formed with a simple purpose in mind, serving as a one-stop shop for the legal needs of developers, lenders, and others in the commercial real estate industry. Based in Newark, the firm's attorneys represent clients in the most complex real estate transactions and land development proceedings, as well as property taxation, environmental and real estate litigation matters, and in the acquisition, sale, and leasing of all real estate asset types throughout the country. Their attorneys have broad private and public sector experience coming from top national law firms and high-level governmental positions. Through the development of individualized client-focused strategies, their team works tirelessly to create a blueprint for success and advance their clients' interests in every matter. To learn more, head to murphyllp.com or give them a call at 973-877-6984.
Driving on this road feels like forever.
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Greetings from the Garden State. I'm your host, Mike Ham. We are here in Rockaway, New Jersey today at Missy's Main Street Cafe with Missy Addison. Missy, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm excited.
Excited to have you. You're all like ready to go. Like you're
I'm
all
ready to
dolled
go.
up,
I took a
like
shower.
Your dinosaur
took
dress
a shower.
on.
I know. It's my go-to.
I feel like very underdressed.
No, you look great in plaid. It's
Thank
the
you.
season.
That's like literally. This is literally. I wore this outfit maybe 5 times last week.
That's
with
perfect.
different flannels and pants and whatever. But it's the season, like you said. I mean, we're recording this in. What is this, October?
Almost November.
Yeah, so it's going to post in November, so it'll still be the season.
Yeah.
So that's good. But excited to be here. Eaten here a couple times. My friend Chris Vaglio
awesome.
brought me in here the first time, and we've come back for business breakfasts, I guess. We put those in air quotes. I expense those, but don't tell work. They don't listen. They don't listen to this show, so it's fine. But it's always great. And then talking to you a little bit the first time I came in, I was like, we definitely have to figure something out to get you on the show. You were initially wishy-washy.
Yeah, I was.
But you were also busy. You had a lot of stuff going on over the summer.
Yeah.
At least that's what you told me. And then finally we got you on the show, so I'm excited.
Me too.
Yeah. All right. So the first segment, what we always do is we learn about the person behind the business.
Okay.
And then we learn about the business itself. So we're going to kick it off. I usually have been asking this question recently. Born and raised in Jersey?
Yes. I was born actually in Barnegat. I'm a South Jersey girl.
Okay.
So I've been up here for 23 years now. So originally I was a pork roll girl. Now I am like officially a Taylor ham girl. There's always a debate. But being up here for so long, I just call it, Taylor ham. It is what it is.
Right.
I'm sorry, all my South Jersey friends.
Well, when you have so many people coming in here ordering breakfast and they're all saying Taylor ham, you can't get in a fight with every single person.
No, so it's Taylor ham now.
Okay. All right. I could dig that. As a North Jersey guy, like my whole life, I've always said Taylor ham, even though I have been, in South Jersey, and just out of respect, just be like.
That's the whole thing.
Sometimes they don't know.
They're like,
you'll
what?
say, yeah. Then they want to get in a fight. I'm just, I'm a lover, not a fighter. All right, and then kind of, have you always been in the food service industry?
No, actually not at all.
Okay.
So we just kind of opened up this place on like a whim. My wife Kelly's always been basically always owned businesses. And I worked in a pharmacy for 13 years, and also a tattoo shop on the side. And so we had always talked about opening a small place, just like in passing conversation. But I wanted to be actually a video editor. That's what I went to school for.
Okay.
So I was like, I'm going to be a video editor. I'll marry a snowboarder. I'll tape the X Games. That'll be my whole life. And then she went and she found this place on a website, and it was for sale. It was basically like the same business, but it was just failing. And she sent me a picture of the inside, and I was like, look, you want to eat there? I'll meet you there after work. And she was like, no, I want to buy it, and I want you to own it with me. And so I called her, and I'm like, are you serious? And she was like, yeah. And I'm like, fuck it. I was like, let's do it, because I just, I was like, what do I have to lose, So
right.
I did. So I quit both my jobs, and I came here, and, I started learning all the ropes from the old owners, and what I should do and what I definitely shouldn't do. And then it just kind of like built up, and we've been here for 7.5 years so far. It's been great.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So you quit both of your jobs without having really any like specific knowledge of like what the business was going to entail.
I just kind of jumped into it, and I mean, it was great. Like, you know, it was a really big learning curve. You know, because I've always cooked with like my mom and you know, stuff like that. But it's like basic cooking for like a few people, not for like public. You know,
right.
So like.
Yeah. The commoners.
The common folk. Yeah. So one of my regulars, Andy, who still comes here. Like he ordered poached eggs, and I was like, Andy, I don't know how to poach an egg, but I'm gonna ask Siri, and I'm like, if it's bad, it's on me, and if it's good, it's on you. And he's like, all right. So I'm like sitting there, like stirring the pot, like, okay, I add a little vinegar. I'm like, okay, you know, and it was, you know, like you basically learn. And in the beginning, it's rough, like when you don't know what you're doing, and you're doing it, you know, because people are very like specific about their food, you know. So like, it was hard in the beginning, you know. And I'd come home and Kelly would be like, oh, how was your day? And I'm like, oh, it was great, you know. And then I'd go in the shower and cry and be like, I don't know what I'm doing. Oh my God, like, you know. And like, I think I worked like 85 hours the first week because I was just there, you know. Yeah. And she did like all of like the numbers and was like, oh, like, well, you made $8. And I'm like, what? She's like, you made $8. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, how am I gonna do this? Like, how, you know? But then like you learn, and staff's a big part of it too. Like my staff's like everything. They're awesome. I have a lot of people that either like, you know, either like I know or I know from other people that are like, yeah, I'll give it a whirl, and it's been awesome. Like everybody's just really, it's just good. But staff's like everything, because without them, you're a captain with no crew. You know? So
can't sail a whole boat with no crew.
No, you can no.
Or
it just
run
sinks.
a restaurant.
Yeah, you can't do anything without your crew. So they're all awesome. But yeah,
that's great. So, because that, like, I was just found that so interesting, because I obviously didn't know that. So I just had assumed that you had been doing this for a long time.
No.
But no. And then, like, because, I mean, we've had other people that have been on this show that either run restaurants or run businesses that what they do is, like, what they've always done. But then we also have people like you that have come from a totally different...
don't know what they're doing.
Exactly.
And
then
just
like, but sometimes, like, that's, like, the best thing. Like, I'm an insurance salesman from New Jersey, and I run this show. And, like, it's successful. And I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah, but you're doing it well.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. That makes me feel good. Not many people say that. Okay, cool. So, kind of like over the lifespan of the restaurant, let's take it from there. Were there moments where you're just like, fuck, maybe I just go back to being like a pharmacist?
Yeah, so like, and it happens all the time. Like, there's times where you think that you're doing awesome, and you're like, yeah, like, it appears that we have our shit together and we know what we're doing, and everything just, you know, kind of, it just goes, you know. And then there's days where, like, even a couple weeks ago, like, our door just like fell off of our freezer in the kitchen, and it was on Saturday, and it's just like, it was slammed in here, and I'm like, and I just open it up and it just like falls off, and I'm like, fuck. And then I'm like, I'm gonna be a garbage man. I'm like, I'm gonna work at a bank or be a fucking garbage man. Like, this is just, you know, just like, so it happens.
To
like,
throw out that freezer door.
Yeah, you know,
right.
but exactly. But there's times where you feel like you're on top of the world, and there's times where you're like, I still don't know what I'm doing even after this long, you know. But I mean, like, you're always learning, you know. And I mean, like, the pandemic was also like a, you know,
right, throw that into
a curveball, because you never expect a pandemic. You expect, like, you know, like the normal like ebbs and flows of things, but you never expect that, you know. So that was an interesting time, because, you know, I have like my inventory down to like a science, like, you know. So it was kind of like starting over. So that was weird, you know. Yeah. But I mean, I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy that we actually made it through, because a lot of businesses didn't. So just I keep on knocking on wood.
Right. That's all you can do.
That's all you can do.
And then, so you also mentioned that you bought this from, it was basically like the same type of business.
It was like the same exact thing.
Okay. And so I would imagine, like, learning from them was helpful.
It was, yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was just, you know, it was like very different, because it wasn't that busy. So like, I got to learn the basics and stuff. But then, like, and I mean, our menu is actually almost identical to, you know, like what it was like when they had it. I just, you know, I added probably like 25 new menu items. I give everything weird names, because it's just like, it's just funny hearing people order things like with like ridiculous names,
Right.
you know.
What makes it memorable too.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you know. So it's just like, but it was definitely helpful, because like I said, I had no background in any kind of, you know, commercial situation.
Right.
So it was, you know, it was definitely a stepping stone to getting where I am at this point, you know.
Awesome.
But,
awesome.
yeah.
All right, so we're going to, that was a great first segment.
Okay.
So we're going to take our first break
Yeah.
of the episode, and then we're going to learn how things are now different here.
Okay.
So this is the Greetings from the Garden State podcast. I'm Mike Ham. We're here in Rockaway, New Jersey at Missy's Main Street Cafe with Missy Addison. We'll be right back.
My name is Chris, founder of FLK Method, where being fit does not feel out of reach. In fact, you're going to have fun when you show up for class. FLK also offers access to a supportive community, monthly partner challenges, and instructors who care. Not to mention our amazing in-person events, more than 20 styles of workouts, and on-demand channels designed specifically for your goals. Head to fitlikechrys.com, that's FITLIKEKRYS.com to learn more or to get started for just $25. Give yourself a chance to feel your best because that is exactly what you deserve.
All right, we're back for segment 2 of this episode of Greetings from the Garden State. I'm Mike Ham. We are here in Rockaway, New Jersey at Missy's Main Street Cafe with Missy Addison. So in the first segment, we learned a little bit about your background, your extensive culinary expertise,
Yes.
and all your training and everything like that. But now we're going to get into a little bit of the Main Street Cafe. So we had talked a little bit about how you had bought this place and it was almost exactly the same.
Yeah.
But there are things that make this place Missy's Main Street Cafe. So what are some things that you've done to the place? I know you said you added some things to the menu, but maybe just like aesthetically too.
So
Just turn my phone off because I'm a professional.
I was like, check.
But yeah, so maybe we should, let's start with that. So
Okay.
maybe ways that you've made it your own, and then we'll kind of get into like what people like when they come here.
So I love this place. Like when I walked in, I was like, it's painted cool.
I like the ceiling
Although we
in
did,
here.
yeah. So that's not actually the original ceiling.
Okay.
But it looks like the original ceiling.
Yeah.
And so it was like, you know, painted this way, and I was like, oh, this is cool, but it just needed like a little spark, you know.
TLC.
It was kind of like, yeah.
Yeah.
It was. You know, it's kind of like a Charlie Brown tree where it's just like this little branch, and you're like, I could do something with that, and then you're, you know. So I love weird shit.
Okay.
I love weird shit. Our house, I'm sorry to my wife, but we have a lot of weird shit. So like anytime that I go anywhere, I always, you know, pick up like just random stuff. So that's like what this needed. It needed like, I wanted a place where whether you were like 80 and, you know, grumpy, or whether you were like, you know, a hipster and be like, oh, I'm too cool for everything, or whether you're, you know, I just wanted a place where everybody just feels like at home, you know. So I started, I don't know if you can see over there, but I started taking pictures of all of my like regulars, and I started, you know, putting them up, just because it's cool to see everybody in town, like, you know, just eating breakfast and, you know, just hanging out. And I started putting, you know, just weird stuff everywhere. I started a hot sauce bar, which is ironic because I really don't like hot sauce that much.
Okay.
Because I'm a wimp.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I have a hot sauce bar, and like it kind of just, and people, it's
I like
weird.
when the check comes in the mailbox.
Yeah, that was actually a drunk idea. I was like, you know,
This whole show was born out of
a
like
drunk idea.
a 4-5 bourbon night.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna start a fucking podcast out of New Jersey.
Yeah,
And the next day, like I got the name, and then the next day, boom, we were rolling.
But that's awesome. That's
the
how.
creative
So I
juices.
was like, it'd be really
Yeah.
cool because like, you know, like with regular, you know, books, if like you don't know if the customer puts, you know, money in or not, so they go over and they're like, oh, I haven't even touched it yet. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, you know, whatever, you know. So this is like, so I got the mailboxes, and so when you're ready, you put up the flag. Even though most of ours are broken now, so I had to reamp our mailbox game.
Yeah.
But yes, but that was just like, you know, I just, all these little details that I, you know, it's taken a long time to like, I mean, it kind of looks like a shit show in here, but I like it. It's, you know, it's my shit show, you know?
Right.
And customers like bring in things all the time. They'll be like, oh, I found this, blah, blah, blah. And like, there's a dog. It's over there. It's this little, like, stuffed animal. Like, it looks like it's a taxidermy dog.
Yeah.
And I was talking to a table one day, and I just happened to glance over, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? Where the fuck did that come from? Like, that's not even... Yeah, so, like, we just put hats on it for every holiday, and it just lives there now, and it's just, like, there's just random, like, random things. I mean, it's decorated now for Halloween, but... Although, like, it doesn't really make that much of a difference of what it looks like normally. Just
like the skeletons.
Couple skeletons, couple little eat, drink, and be scary.
Nuance. The pumpkins over
lights.
there.
Our Ghostbuster lights are here all year round.
Okay.
But yeah, so it's just like I just started buying stuff and just, and some stuff I put at home and some stuff I bring here, and it's just like, it just became this weird little place that everybody comes and is happy, and I like that. I'm not big into politics, but I like making like my own little, peaceful, happy bubble where everybody can, a little a breakfast oasis where everybody can just be happy and enjoy their
First
meal
meal
and
of the
just
day.
sleep. Yeah, that's it.
So I have a question.
Yes.
How you mentioned like sometimes it's like chaos in here.
Yeah,
like
it's chaotic.
The kitchen, which is like right over there, maybe the smallest kitchen I've ever seen outside of like a food truck. Mm-hmm. So like there must be some like rhythm to that too.
Yeah.
Right?
So I have one person always on Expo, and then a person's on the grill, and then I have a person, which is usually my brother now. Yay! On like omelets, and
Sure.
So like when we get a ticket, like you just like what you have to do,
right.
And like like talking is a big thing, because like sometimes like if what's on your station's easy, like you'll be like 8 tickets down and they don't even have like the 3rd ticket on, but and our grill is small, and it's a open kitchen, so if there's like hostility in the kitchen, you could like, so we're all like, I'm like, get your fucking shit, like we just kind of, but it's fun. We bump asses like all the time. You just have to have a thick skin here, so
sure.
we like, it's small. It's just small, but we like make it work. It is kind of like a food truck size. Yeah, it is. That's the best way to explain it. It's not, and that's why, like when I go out to eat, I love looking at other people's kitchens.
Yeah,
like I have like a kitchen and be like, oh my God, like they have 12 people in there. And like, like one person's only on salads. It's like, because it's crazy. You're just like,
but at the same time, you could be like, they got 12 people in that kitchen and it's huge, but like I'm churning out stuff that's like just as good sometimes, and I got this tiny ass kitchen with like 3 people in it at most. So
it makes me happy.
Right.
I'm not a chef though. Like I get like weird when people are like, oh, chef. I'm like, I'm not a chef. I'm a really good short order cook, but like I don't have any like background. Like my one cook, Anthony, he has a background. He's worked in restaurants for his whole life. So like, I look up to him like on things on like different things that he does, because I'm like, wow, like that's the right way to do it, But like I learned just from just basically fucking up a lot and being like, I'm sorry, I'll comp it, it's on me, like you just have to do that. And as long as you do that, like nobody gets angry if you fuck something up and you're like, I'm really sorry, like it's on the house and I'll do it again, like it's fine. But and that doesn't really happen like now, but like in the beginning it happened all the time. All the time. I was just like, I'm sorry, but it's good. Like I'm proud of what we do in like where we do it, because like I said, it's like cooking inside a closet a lot of the time, you know.
Yeah, that's
so
still
it takes,
awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
And then so let's get to the menu a little bit. Okay. So you mentioned that like the menu similar to the old place, but you added like a whole bunch of stuff onto the menu,
like specialty items.
Yeah. So maybe what are like a couple of the heavy hitters, like fan favorite type things that people get when they come in here?
So I would say our number one seller is our Jersey Barn Fire Black Garlic Smash, which is like the only hot sauce that I like. I actually have a bottle here.
There it is.
There you go, John. Ooh, but yeah, so it's just like a black garlic hot sauce. So it's tater tots that are smashed, and then over easy eggs, and then a saute of Taylor ham.
I think this is what I get.
And then onion. Yeah. It is what I think it's what you got last night. Yeah,
yeah,
on top, scallions, and then our hot sauce, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
I also have Yes Queen Yes, which is I love drag queens, so I kind of look like one sometimes. But yeah, so it's just basically rye toast, ricotta. It's torched, and then we put sunny side up eggs, bacon, microgreens, a little red pepper flakes, and some local honey, and it's just good. It's just good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
But
and I would love to see like an old grumpy guy order a yes queen yes.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
It
That must
happens
be
and it's
amazing.
great, but they're like yes queen yes, and you're
Yeah,
like
right.
that's not how you say it. But
Yeah.
I
Can you
put a
order
bunch of
again?
A's in there for a reason because I want you to elongate the yes. But if you don't, it's
Yeah.
okay. I'll still serve you.
Right.
I won't be happy about it, but I'll
Yeah.
still serve you. But yeah, and then we have it's something called the nookie, which is multigrain toast with home fries, sunny side up eggs, sausage patties, and then Noopy sauce, which is basically like our version of, it's like a Thousand Island.
Okay.
It's named after my dog, Noopy. And then honey mustard, and then scallions. It's different. It's just different. It's good.
Yeah.
But it's,
Well,
you know.
they all sound good. I mean, I know that the smash one is good.
that's like our top. Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody's like, I want the smash,
Because that's
so.
every time I come in, I'm like, I'll just have that. 'Cause
I'll just
I'm a
get
big
that.
creature of habit guy, and like I eat breakfast because I think it's important, but I don't eat breakfast like that every day.
Yeah, no.
So sometimes you just gotta like blow it up a little bit. Yeah, like start the day off and just roll yourself out of here.
I never eat breakfast, but if I'm like away or if I'm off or if I'm like, like even like out of state,
Yeah.
I'll order like 4 or 5 like entrees just because I want to see what everybody else is doing, and I'm like, oh, this is good, or like ours is better, like it just like I just like to
Yeah.
it's just good
Experiment a
to
little
experiment
bit.
and see what everybody else has
And does
on their
that
plates.
sometimes like also influence stuff that you maybe add or to the menu? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean our stuff's been pinched a couple times, but I take that as a compliment. I'm just like, okay,
Sure.
like,
Yeah.
I'm like,
It's the greatest form of flattery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just got to keep on doing it better.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. You can't do it worse. If
No,
they,
you can't
if they
do it
steal
worse.
it.
I'm like, wait, no, yeah, if you steal it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have some kind of, I don't know.
And then are you only serving breakfast or other stuff as well?
It's just breakfast and lunch.
And lunch.
I love cooking breakfast. I could cook breakfast all day long. I don't really like cooking lunch. I do it because, I do. But like, I mean, it's like the weekends, like we do a lot of breakfast, and like during the week, it's both. It's like an even split. But I love cooking breakfast. I can cook breakfast all day long. But
Yeah.
And then lunch comes, and it's hard to balance it on a grill because I serve both all day. So like you have to have like your pancakes, like on one side, and like your meat on, because you don't want to like,
Sure.
I don't like
my
poison
foods.
anybody.
I don't want to like my food to touch either.
it. Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't want to cross contaminate, but
Right.
it's a challenge sometimes when you have breakfast and lunch and it's like slammed and you're trying to like, but like we do it,
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
And then, so like we said, like it's not like a huge space, but when it's slammed in here, it must be like crazy.
It's slammed, yeah.
I think the times that I've come, it's like a weekday morning, so it's like busy, but not like packed.
Yeah.
And, like we're not waiting outside.
It gets packed.
Yeah.
It gets insane. Like we have
And I'm sure doing like
sometimes
takeouts too.
an hour wait. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Sometimes I just cut it off.
Okay.
If we have like 15 tickets on the board, I'm like, it's like I said, it's small, so,
Yeah.
or like it'll be limited to like 3 or less items. But I mean, I do what I can in the space
Yeah.
that I have.
Right.
It's like, it's small, but it works.
Yeah.
We do it.
Get it done. That's all you got to do is just get it done. Awesome. Well, I love that because I mean, like I said, I love coming in here, love eating here, all that kind of stuff, and I just love the vibe. So it was cool to
you.
kind of like learn the background of the vibe. So we're gonna take our second and last break
Okay.
of this episode. Did we hit everything that we were supposed to
Yeah.
hit in that segment?
Yeah, I
Is
think
nothing else that we missed about this place?
No. I mean, I don't know. Is there anything I don't know.
There's an audience on this episode
But
too.
yeah, there is. It's my
Yeah.
wife and brother. I'm like, anything, guys? Peanut gallery? No.
No, I think it's great. So we'll take our second break, our last break of this episode. We'll come back with our community segment next.
Okay.
So this is the Greetings from the Garden State podcast. I'm Mike Ham. We are here in Rockaway, New Jersey at Missy's Main Street Cafe with Missy Addison. We'll be right back. The Mayo Performing Arts Center is the heart of arts and entertainment in Morristown, New Jersey. MPAC presents over 200 events annually and is home to an innovative children's arts education program. To see MPAC's upcoming schedule of world-class concerts, stand-up comedy, family shows, and more, head to mayoarts.org or just click the link in our show notes. Bored of going to the same park? Want to try a new local adventure? Well, then check out NJspots.com, your home for finding a new spot to discover right here in New Jersey. With dozens of maps to check out, local hiking spots, family-friendly places, and seasonal suggestions, NJspots is waiting for you to find somewhere new to explore. That's NJspots.com. All right, we're back for segment 3 of this episode of Greetings from the Garden State. I'm Mike Ham. We're here at Missy's Main Street Cafe in Rockaway, New Jersey with Missy Addison. So first segment we learned about you. Second segment we learned about the restaurant. In our last segment, what we always do, it's like personally my favorite segment because this is a podcast about New Jersey and we're having people from various communities throughout New Jersey and that own businesses or run nonprofits, all that kind of stuff, talk about their relationships with their respective communities. So personally, and I'm just going to say this, I think breakfast spots have a better relationship with communities than places that serve dinner. I'm gonna go out on a limb, and the reason why I think that is because like people will go like out for breakfast, but you got like a shit to do the rest of your day, so you go to your local spot.
Yeah.
When you're going out for dinner, you're going to like
Other places
wherever.
out
Like
of
you
town.
drive up to Morristown or you drive out to wherever. So
I agree with that.
yeah, it's I don't that's like I don't have
It's a
any
bold statement, but I agree with it.
I don't have any background for that or like any evidence for that. That's just my complete wild guess. But maybe take me through just kind of like she's been here for 7.5 years, kind of how the relationship between you and the community as a whole has evolved and what that relationship is like.
I don't do anything for the community. No, I'm kidding. So
Not again.
I know, not again. No. Yeah. So I knew nothing about Rockaway, and I came here with kind of like, I don't know, this is like a new town, and everybody here is awesome. Like everybody's here is awesome. I'm actually married to a woman, and I didn't know if I was going to be like, embraced or if I was going to be chased out with pitchforks or what was going to happen. But everybody here has just been really, really welcoming. I also do a lot of bartering. Like I'll get like my oil change, for breakfast sandwiches, or like if our door breaks and you work at the hardware store in town and fix it, I'll buy you lunch. Like it's awesome like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do a lot. It's hard because I'm small, but we try. I try donating to almost everything, unless it's like 10 towns over, and they're like, oh, I'm like, I don't even know where that is, whatever. But
Yeah.
but I mean, like we donate to like, a lot of sports teams. We sponsor gymnastics, cheerleading. We make chili for all of the Rockaway Rockets home games. We sponsor drag brunches, church functions. We do like for Easter and like Thanksgiving, Christmas. We do like a toy drive, like for like all of the kids in town. Yeah, well, I mean, basically anything that like anybody needs, I'm down to help. Like gift cards. I don't know, just everything.
Right, just trying to be a good person.
Yeah, I try to be a good person.
Yeah.
If you're a vet, if you're, a policeman, like you get like a discount on things. Yeah, it's just I try to help when I can, if I can.
Yeah. Yeah. And then so being like a new business owner at a place, and like we said before, the place that was here before was slower.
Yeah.
Not as popular, whatever it
Thank
is.
you.
But obviously, like coming into a space that has existed in like kind of this downtown sort of area. I don't know if this is downtown Rockaway or not.
I mean, it's kind of like
almost
uptown. I don't even know what it's considered, but yeah, it's like
whatever,
it's
like the town,
not downtown Rockaway.
in town, I guess.
It's the borough.
Yeah,
Rockaway
it's not
borough.
the mall, but it's the town, I guess. I don't know, whatever. So, like people are sometimes kind of like, oh, like that was my spot. Like I'll never go to this new place, kind of thing.
I don't think anybody said that really.
All right.
I mean,
well, maybe not to your face.
Not to my face. Maybe they did. I didn't know. Shame on them. No, but I mean, it's it was hard. Like there was. So I have a bunch of guys that like this building itself is over like 110 years old.
Okay.
So it's been here. It's been restaurants like forever, like since like even like I think maybe like the 70s, and maybe even earlier than that. So I do have people that like they've been here as a kid and now they're like 85 years old. Now I remember when like there used to be a candy like counter here. You
Yeah.
know, I'm like, oh, it's, you know.
It costs a nickel.
Yeah, it costs a nickel. I'm like,
Yeah.
nothing costs a nickel now. Come, you know, but yeah, so like there was a bunch of guys that like used to eat breakfast here every Tuesday. And then I acted like I was like just an employee here. And then after like a month, you know, of like exploring, you know, and learning like all of like the ups and downs of the business, I was like, guess what, guys, I'm taking over, you know. And they were like, oh my gosh, and they still come. Like, you know, I buy the mugs every year for Christmas.
Yeah,
you know, like
that's awesome.
Yeah, they're awesome. But
Yeah.
it's a good town. I'm really happy to be in Rockaway. Like
Yeah.
out of, you know, because like you don't know what you're getting yourself into.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Moving to a new place.
Moving to a new place, and you
Starting a
know, and
business
being
in a
like
new
punk
place.
rock, and you know,
Yeah.
and I mean also like gay and a chick. You know, it's hard to, you know, like you just don't know what's going
Right.
to happen. But everybody's awesome here,
Yeah.
and I'm happy to be in Rockaway.
Yeah, well, that's like that's part of the reason why I like doing this segment is because, you know, like we could sit here and be like, oh, the community is great because they come in and buy breakfast.
Yeah.
But there's like so much more to it because you're like a part of the community.
Yeah.
And so it goes beyond just like the monetary exchange of being like
Yeah, oh,
a patron
definitely.
in a restaurant or a patron in a business and all that kind of stuff. So that's what I think is so cool about this, and especially like, you know, like your story and like you sharing it and all that kind of stuff, like the hesitations, but then being like, oh, it's actually
it's
awesome.
it is. I mean, it was hard in the beginning, like I said, but it wasn't like because of where I was. It was just because I had no clue what I was doing.
Right.
So I was just
Yeah.
like jumping in blind, like, okay, we're gonna do this, and
Yeah.
you know, because like when somebody buys you a business, it's not like my wife bought me like a fern and was like, here, like take care of this. It was like $11.99. You know what I mean? Like it's a big deal. So
Yeah.
you know, like there wasn't any doubt in my mind that I wouldn't make it work. I mean, you know, it just took a long time to get there. You know.
Yeah.
But it's been a trip, you know. It's weird because even though I've been here this long, I still feel like I've only been here. It's weird because I feel like it's been here, like at the same time, it's like I've been here like for like 30 years.
Right.
You know, but then like there's always ups and downs and
Yeah.
and things I'm still learning, and I'm like, oh, you know, like, so it's definitely. It's definitely not a job for like the weak of heart. You know what I
Doesn't
mean?
sound
Like
like it,
you have
no.
you have to like be in it, you know, and be like completely in it. But it's good, and
Yeah.
I can't imagine doing anything else like at this point. I mean, like I said in the beginning, I was like, oh my god, like, oh, you know, but like it's been awesome.
Right.
I'm
right.
happy.
Yeah. No, that's great. I love that. And then I know we talked about this a little bit in the first segment with the staff and kind of like them supporting you, because that's also part of like
Yeah,
the
they're
community
awesome.
as well. So if you want to just like touch on it real fast before we kind of get into
I
some
love
of our
my
other stuff.
staff. Like they're awesome. Like they just, it's weird because I've like, it's not like cliquey here, but like I could tell if you're gonna work here or if you're not. Like if you're like pretentious or if you're like just like a shitbag, like it's not gonna work. Like no
shitbags
no shitbags allowed. But like yeah, it's been, you know, but they're awesome. Like they do everything for me, you know. So I tried being a decent boss because I've had a lot of, you know, good bosses and a lot of pieces of shit as bosses, and like, you know, if you do something extra, I'm gonna give you extra money for it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, or you know, like I give them gift bags every time, like, well, for Easter and Halloween and you know things like that. It's important, you know.
Yeah.
And we have like, you know, parties over like the summer, and it's just it's important to, if you're busting your ass, then it's important to be like compensated for it. You
Yeah,
know?
recognize.
Yeah, just recognize, and
least.
and even
Yeah.
like a thank you, like that also goes a long way. You know what I
for
mean?
sure.
Just being like, thank you so much for like doing, you know, it's just like, but yeah, I just never want to be like a piece of shit boss because I've had a lot of some of my ex-employees might beg to differ, but
Yeah.
you know, I mean, it's hard. It's also hard being a boss when like when like you're so close to everybody because it's, you know,
Right.
But I mean, it's like when we're at work, it's business, and when you know, after work, it's like, okay, let's go get a beer. Like, I'm sorry, I yelled at you. You know, like it's over.
Yeah,
you know,
just
it's on
part
me.
of the-
Yeah,
yeah.
you just apologize
Right,
and say
part
I'm
of the
sorry.
day.
You know, yeah, just you know.
Yeah.
But it's good, and I would be lost without them. They're awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm thankful. You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody sticks by me. so that's good.
Right. That's great. And
Yeah.
that's, I think that's a great way to kind of like wrap it up. So
Yeah.
what we're going to do
Okay.
is hit the people with, before we do that, open 7 days a week?
6 days.
6 days a week. What day are you
I'm not
closed?
open Mondays.
Not open Mondays.
I understand why restaurants do that now because it's like a whole new world.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like just a day to like get the order in, like just it's so much easier. I was open like before the pandemic. I was open 7 days a week from 6 a.m. until 3, and then after the pandemic, I'm only open Tuesday through Sunday, and I open now at 8, and it makes like a world of difference. Like
Yeah.
opening at 8 is huge as opposed to opening at 6.
Oh, right. Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
it's
Nothing good happens at 6 o'clock in the
no,
morning.
it's awful. But
Yeah.
yeah, so it's been a lot easier on everybody. Like everybody comes in a good mood now because they have to come in at 7:30 as opposed to 5:30.
5:30, yeah. Ugh,
Which is
I don't
awful.
know.
Yeah, don't even think
What time
about
do you have to
that.
get up at? I don't like that.
You have to I just wouldn't go to bed. I would just stay up all night and just drink coffee and be like,
Yeah.
oh my God, it's a countdown.
7 days a
7
week.
days a week. Oh, there's no break. It's like, I was being on like an awful hamster wheel.
Yeah. Terrible.
But it's good now.
Cool. All right. So if people want to learn more about Missy's Main Street Cafe, obviously they can come in, and the address of this place is
181 East Main Street in Rockaway, New Jersey, 07866.
nailed it.
Nailed it.
And then
Go on.
if people want to see the Instagram, what is the Instagram?
The Instagram is Missy's Main Street Cafe, and that's also our Facebook as
Yep.
well. I'm like awful at technology. I can't even send an attachment on an email, so my wife handles all that. And then our website is missysnj.com.
Boom.
Easy.
Amazing.
Easy. I practiced.
Yeah. And then, so if people like, I don't think there would be reservations here.
No,
But
it's
if people
too
want to
small.
do takeout,
Yeah.
do they do that from the site? Do they do that from like DoorDash or something?
No DoorDash.
No DoorDash.
We're too small for DoorDash.
Okay.
Or
Fuck DoorDash.
fuck DoorDash. Sorry, DoorDash. But
They're not,
sorry, not
they're
sorry.
Not sponsors, so that's okay.
Yeah, so there goes our sponsorship.
Yeah.
So,
They
but
won't be
yeah,
now.
if you just call,
Oh, okay.
that's the best
The
thing.
easiest way to do it.
It's the easiest.
Old school.
Old school.
Love it.
I'm very old school. I still have like an old school planner. I'm very like.
I tried to get into like the day planner thing, and I can't do it.
I have a day planner. I'm proud of it, but I don't think anybody else is proud of it. But I'm proud of it.
Like, what the
I
hell
like
is
opening
that?
it up and being like, oh, here's my month. You
Yeah.
know? I'm
month.
old school. Like, here's my whole month. It's a lot.
That's a lot of stuff. Awesome. Well, this was great. I really
Oh,
appreciate you
thank you.
having me in, finally getting this recorded. I know, like, I think when I first did it was like June, maybe? It was a while ago.
It was back in here.
Yeah, back in the day. We were still like, figuring things out on the show at that point. But again, I really appreciate you
No,
having me
thank
in,
you.
coming on the show, all that kind of stuff. Thank you to the audience as well. But do you have anything else that you want to say before we wrap this up?
No.
Cool.
I just appreciate.
Yeah.
I just appreciate just having the opportunity to be here.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
Me too.
Let's go get a beer. Let me buy you a beer.
Okay. All right, sweet. Awesome. So this has been the Greetings from the Garden State podcast. I'm Mike Ham. We were here at Missy's Main Street Cafe today in Rockaway, New Jersey with Missy Addison. Thank you for listening, and we will catch you next time.
Up here all I see